And there's Terry. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the floor for Boston. They've got Freak. Big Cat out there with the captain. And it's the eraser. And it's Medina in at the center. Here's Hall. Terry covering. Pass to Big Cat. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. No good on the second free throw. Warriors trail by 6. Here's Houston. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Passes to Popovich. Sally kicks to Woolridge. Here's the chosen one. Just 4 to shoot. That shot off the mark.
A good job by him on the glass here tonight. +8 in that department.
Vega, he made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed 2.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Here's Hall. Off target on the outside leaner. Celtics leading by 8. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Rivera the pass to Medina. The 10-footer. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Hall's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Out to the right wing. Here's the chosen one. His last outing, he had 8 points. And a moment here to... So he gets them both.
Oh, he's never rattled at the strike. Always has that nice soft touch on his free throws.
And there's the pass to Vega. Here's the professor. Pass to Big Cat. And it's blocked. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Hall, that's good. Boston leading by 4. Here's Big Cat. It's deflected. The Warriors have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. And while we can't...
Hanging up in an arena, that was a surreal moment, a really cool moment, and it was awesome to be able to share it with my family and friends.
And people probably don't know that you grew up in Las Vegas, so it was probably doubly special, wasn't it?
Exactly, born and raised.
Stolen by Woolridge. Edwards dishes to Griffin. Passes it to Popovich. Back to Griffin. Pass to Woolridge. 6 to shoot. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. The Celtics have gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Here's Newman. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Edwards got his 5th rebound right now in the game. The shot goes down and it gets this game back to even. 9 points for the chosen one. It's been several possessions since they've converted.
And they've got to find a way to change that.
Here's Lane. Again, the miss by the Celtics. And for the Warriors, they're shooting a ghastly 26% from the field. Their offensive game looking completely out of whack. Edwards passes to Griffin. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
And they've got to keep him off the glass. For a little guy, he can be a handful on the offensive boards if you're not aware of it.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
Trying to find some...
Here's Big Cat, defended by Griffin. Step back and squared up.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Golden State.
The Warriors have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. The pass to Henderson. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Boston trailing. Here's the professor. Here's the prophet. Henderson defending. They get the rebound. Lane. Tough possession there. They stayed with it, but they just couldn't make it. Pass to Popovich. In the corner, it's Griffin. Out to the wing. 5 to shoot. Here's Popovich. Rebounded by the Celtics.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
Moncrief the pass to Newman. Here's Big Cat. Floats one, and that one drops. Big Cat's got the game tied up here for the Celtics. Warriors have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Here's the chosen one. 9 points in the game so far, and they'll keep possession. Edwards kicks to Griffin. The second chance effort. That one doesn't drop. So the Celtics will take it the other way. After this one, they're off to Sacramento to take on the Kings. That will be their second of this 5-game road trip. That one good for 2. Here's the chosen one. Passes it to Henderson. Here's the chosen one. Right side, Woolridge. And it's Moncrief with the rebound. Moncrief's got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. Here's Newman. Now the pass to Big Cat. 5 on the clock. 3-pointer. Henderson pulls it in.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Here's the chosen one. Pass to Edwards. And it's Moncrief with the rebound. Moncrief's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Here's Newman. To the inside. Here's Lane. And he makes good on the layup. And it's a 4-point Celtic lead.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Outside Griffin. Trying to end the drought. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time. Griffin's got his second basket.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Pass to Big Cat. Shoots a 3. He made that one. Basket number 3 for him. He's also missed.
Egg he put up in the first quarter.
Pass to Woolridge. Shoots over Moncrief. And he recovers it. Here's Griffin. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Griffin's got 4 points this quarter. Celtics leading by 3. Here's the professor. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Warriors trail by 5. Hall passes to Griffin. Here's Hall. He's a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. And there's the pass to Henderson. Drains it from beyond the arc. Henderson's got 8 points.
And other than the long line of big men who can drain the three, that makes him a very tough cover.
Here's Carney. Griffin with some nice D. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Stolen by Terry. Lays it in off the breakaway.
Quarter where they struggled from long range, they've really started to get it closer to the basket.
Here's Hall. The rebound by the Celtics.
Oh, you hate to let those easy chances slip through your fingers.
Pass to Medina. Here's the professor. Pass to Moncrief. Nice ball movement by Boston. Outside Terry. Warriors with the rebound. Mr. Moves got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Hall. Good on the triple.
Sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
Terry the pass to Medina. Misses the fadeaway inside.
For a player who's almost a sure thing to score in tight, that was a stunner.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line. Free throw good, Edwards.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
The eraser passes to Carney. 30 seconds left to play in the first half. Terry kicks to Freak. Here's Vega. Sally with the rebound. Golden State's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Hall passes to Sally. Griffin with it. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and his offense fueled him on D2. He was more than a handful on that end, piling up the steals.
Trailed by 5. Woolridge is out there with Boss. Then there's Red Hot. Then there's Edwards. And it's Griffin in at the shooting guard. So that's the group out there for Golden State. Here is Carney. No points in the game yet for him.
And I like the decision making. He's taking what the defense is willing to give him.
Oh, yeah, and that's just a good read on his part. And as usual, his mid-range jumper is on point.
Kicks it to Griffin. And another 3 for Golden State.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here is Moncrief. And then Carney with the jam.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, G8, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
Yeah, coach is definitely pleased. That's the execution he loves to see.
Woolridge's shot is off.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
That one's in there. The Warrior lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Moncrief. Golden State's gotten the 3-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. Here's Edwards. Off target from outside. For Boston, they've gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. Moncrief's got it all tied up now for the Celtics.
A flat-out bulldog in the paint. Great job to follow his own shot there and get the basket.
Over to the wing. Here's Hall. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's Newman. Passes it to Carney. And they come right back with their own.
He's working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
Griffin's shot is off. And so it's Terry bringing it up for the Boston Celtics. For the lead, again, the Celtics good for 2.
Such a consistent night for him from the field. Whenever they've needed it, he's been their safety valve.
Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Here's Hall. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it. Here's Newman. The professor passes to Carney. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Inside. Here's Woolridge, and it's denied, but he stays with it. Outside Griffin. Shot clock at 6. Hall, no good. The Celtics have gone 7 of 9 from the field to start this second half. Some tremendous shooting from them. Took him no time.
And defensively, these guys are looking for answers since halftime. They've seemed disjointed and out of sync. They have got to get back that rhythm defensively.
A steal. Here we go, 1-on-1. It doesn't go for him. And Golden State will go the other way with it. Looking ahead to their next game, playing at New Orleans, they'll match up against the Pelicans. And that'll be game 1 of a 4-game road trip. Here's Hall. And the Warriors miss again.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And Moncrief gets it to go.
Well, and in terms of size, that's a mismatch he'll exploit every time, especially inside.
The pass to Hall. Jacks up a 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Hall's got 18 points.
Knocks down his second 3 of the half. I mean, he had 2 of them in the first half also. Doing some solid work from deep.
With the shot. And another basket for Boston. Here's Hall. He's got 18. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Well, it's...
Here's Hall. He's a solid producer, averaging nearly 22 points a game. Henderson passes to Sally. Just 5 on the clock. Lets the 3 fly. Henderson, no good.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising it's such a tight game.
Newman, the pass to Lane. Here's the eraser. He has 6. Shoots from 12. It's rebounded by Golden State. Henderson's got his 5th rebound in this one. Here's Popovich, and it's blocked, but he recovers it. Pass to Sally. Here's Hall. Traps in the tray. Hall's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Well, it had to be. These days, you need to stretch the floor somewhat to make everything else work.
Here's Lane. And it's blocked. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Hall passes to Henderson. That ties the game. Henderson's got 10 points.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Pass to Moncrief. Here's Newman. Lets it fly. Off the left rim and out. Here's Hall. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. Here's Carney. Boston again missing. Golden State's gone to the three-point shot 8 times already in the second half and hit 4 of them. There's the lob to the hoop. Here's the eraser. 6 points for him. Newman with the bucket. Here's Hall. Fires the 3. Hits the 3-point bomb. Sally's got his second bucket of the night.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Here's Newman. He's got 7. It's blocked. Here's Hall. Here's Houston. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Popovich. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. Here's Carney. And the Celtics hit again from deep. And for the Prophet. Here's Hall. 21 points in the game. Here's York. It's deflected, and he's able to get it back. Takes a 3. Rebounded by the Celtics.
A strong D on the perimeter. That's how you got to play it.
It's intercepted. Now the Warriors moving it up. Here's Popovich. And the Warriors miss again.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively.
Here's Carney. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Both good from the line that time. Warriors trail by 5. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Griffin hits them both. Celtics leading by 3. Here's Newman. He has 7. Here's Vega. Buries the long-range jumper. The Erasers got 9.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
Passes it to Sally. Here's Hall. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Hall's got 14 points here in the second half. Boston's gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. There's the pass to Newman. Here is Carney. 14 points for him. Shoots over Griffin. No good from Carney.
He's been off the mark, but somehow he hasn't held them back as a team.
Great open look there. Mr. Move's got the game tied up here for the Warriors.
But he doesn't have a clear path to the hoop, so why not? Pull up and bury the 3 in transition.
Newman, the pass to Medina. Kicks it to Freak. Pass to Medina. Here is Carney, defended by Griffin. Clock at 6. Good on the 3-point shot. 5 points in the game.
3-point shooting since the half has been about as good as you could ask for.
Here's Hall. It's hauled in by Newman. Celtics leading by 3. 54 seconds left in the third. Pass to Medina. Here's Newman. He's got 7. And that one is good.
And after really leaning on that 3-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here.
Credit there. Well, while he's also challenging them on offense.
And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter, what is still anybody's ball game. On the court for the Celtics, the captain out there with Newman. Then there's the monster. And it's the eraser. And it's Rivera in at the 3. Sinks the triple.
He'll do some damage if they give him that shot. Don't give him a clean look. Get out there on him.
And the pass to Woolridge. From 16 feet away, he cans it. Newman, the pass to Medina. Here's the eraser. Lets it go with the 3. And Woolridge pulls it down. Woolridge has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's York. The three-pointer off the mark. Boston's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. And a wide-open look for Freak. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Here's York. Makes good on the step-back jumper.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half. Doing a great job at the line.
Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. York. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
They're in a legal guarding position. Let them do their job. Eliminate the cheap ones. Part of the issue, though, partner, is now so much of the game is played on an island, right? You don't have the crowds that you typically would see guys in back in our era. There's more space. The court, in that sense, is bigger. You're out there kind of on your own, man, and these guys are crafty at drawing fouls.
It's never been harder for a defender. And the ball out of play.
Kerr talked to his team during the break. He said, "I love how we're shooting the basketball. You guys have been locked in from 3. Just keep taking makeable."
Free throw no good for Henderson.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
Warriors trail by 8. Shot from the wing. Here's Woolridge, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback. Moncrief controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
You know we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort. Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
They needed that, and I love that he just didn't settle for the lay-in.
Here's Newman. Passes it to Terry. Launches a 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Hall's got 13 rebounds in the game. Class eating. Here's Big Cat. The pass to the professor. His three-pointers off the mark. Warriors trail by 6. Shoots the 3. Connects from three-point range.
Need to recognize the importance of staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Terry against Griffin. Here's Newman. Drills it from outside. Newman's got
That slow start giving them a boost here in the second.
Here's Hall. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. And good, he nails it. Edwards got 5 points now this quarter.
Great decision, great find. I mean, draws the double team and passes out of it to create the open look.
Pass to Moncrief. Out to the right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Newman. Warriors with the rebound. Well, it's definitely within striking distance now.
Yeah, but they've got to make each possession count on both sides of the floor.
All right, when the D forgets about him on the perimeter, they're playing with fire. Lucky they don't get burned here.
Pass to Woolridge. He gets that one.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Coach trusts him to make winning plays down the stretch. I mean, because he's shown that ability time and time and time again.
They get it again. Here's Moncrief. And again, Boston with the triple.
With the second half he's having, I mean, his field goal percentage is way up there.
Here's Hall. That one off the back iron and out.
It isn't the D that causes that miss. That's just a loss of concentration that time.
Moncrief El-Cid with it. And Griffin picks him up defensively. And Moncrief gets it to go.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Well, that's just the mentality you have to have. Not wanting to give the opposition any hope of clawing back into this.
Griffin kicks to Edwards. Henderson passes to Woolridge. Golden State moving the ball around. Here's Griffin. Good work defensively by Terry. Celtics leading by 9. Here's Moncrief. And Woolridge pulls it down. 3-on-3.
If his performance this quarter is any indication, I don't think he's the one who's going to let them out of the hole.
Here's Terry. And both free throws good for Terry.
And one difference this half is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
Here's Hall. Woolridge left side. He's looking for Griffin and finds him. Passes to Hall. He kicks to Woolridge. Can they get it? And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Both shots good from the stripe. Celtics leading by 9. The pass to the professor. Here's Newman. Now Moncrief. Pass to the professor.
Boy, did they need that rebound. I mean, they have struggled on the boards overall, but still with a chance to win.
And he gets the bucket. And that's now 10 points for the great. Celtics shooting around 37% in the fourth quarter. The minutes starting to wear on them. Pass to Terry. Shoots over Griffin, and it's good off the back rim and
There makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
Here's Woolridge. And Boston with the rebound. Terry's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Newman. No good on the triple. Warriors trail by 9. Here's Griffin. Drills the three-pointer.
Oh, he just caught the defense napping. He shoots a very high percentage from three-point range when there's no hand in his face.
Newman the pass to the professor. Passes it to Terry. Griffin with the steal. And it's stolen by Moncrief. Here's Newman. Defended by Griffin. Terry outside. The professor passes to Terry. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Golden State's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Now the pass to Woolridge. Over Moncrief. That's it, and the Celtic lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Woolridge.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
Pass to Carney. Fades away. And right on target with the swish.
And that's why they're running plays for him. They're getting him the ball and letting him go to work.
Here's Woolridge. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him. That's good from Woolridge. 1:03 left to play in the final quarter. Here's Newman. Pass to Carney. Over Edwards. And again, it's Boston converting. Timeout called the Warriors. And now, let's present our New Balance player of the game, Mr. Clutch.
And when he's been on the floor, it has been a clinic in rim protection and shot blocking. He's played the defense of 3 men tonight. His block total has gotten to a point you almost never see in an NBA game.
Here's Woolridge. Yes! And now they trail by just 4.
The teardrop, well, that's all about food.
Here's Newman. And a foul call. Almost got it to go in, but he'll go to the line for 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 6-point ball game.
And he adds to their lead with some very solid free throws.
There's 38 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Pass to Griffin. Stolen. And that's an intentional foul. So it's the Celtics picking up the win. A narrow...
What's good, fam? Welcome back to the Zone. Hopefully you enjoyed the Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. I personally did, although I think it could have gone very differently if the Golden State Warriors played the way they did against other teams. But I digress. Now, if we look at the box score alone, you would think that the Celtics dominated just in scoring, but the real impact on this game was from the defensive side of the ball. So for example, Brandon Moncrief and Michael Terry led the team in blocks, with Michael ending with 4 blocks and Brandon ending with 5 blocks, which accounted for 75% of the total blocks on the team. In addition to this, Michael was responsible for 3 steals, followed by Gustavo Vega and Austin Carney, who both had 2 steals apiece. Now from a rebounding perspective, Brandon and Griffin Carl dominated the paint with 32 boards between the 2 of them alone. So now because of this, the Warriors struggled to get to the paint, and as a result had to take a lot of shots from the deep perimeter and beyond the arc more frequently than they would normally take. And so as a result, folks like Max Henderson, Kenji Hall, and Danny Edwards, they're essentially limited to the perimeter, which caused a lot of difficulty from a scoring perspective for the team. Now I can't hold you. Cole Woolridge did his thing when it came to scoring in the paint compared to his teammates. So one would argue, is Cole truly that nice at the 5 position, or is Brandon Moncrief just suspect at the 5 position? The verdict's still out. We're going to have to watch a few more games to be truly certain, but I think Cole did a really good job. Nonetheless, it just wasn't enough to get the Warriors over the hump. Now, I want to give kudos to the Celtics because of their defensive efforts. They were able to do a lot more damage than I previously thought. I really thought that the Warriors were gonna take this game in the end, but sadly for them, the Boston Celtics really just came to play and were shooting a lot more efficiency, as you can see. Granted, from the 3-point perspective, they were worse, but overall, Boston Celtics did a really good job. So now, let's take a look at the box score real quick before we move on to the next game. The man of the game is Kenji Hall. He had 26 points, 13 boards, 13 assists, and he shot 36% from the field. Shout out to Eddie Sean because this is his creation. If you haven't checked them out yet, feel free to check out his channel. The links are in the description below. But also on the Celtics side, we got Brandon Moncrief, who shot 20 points, had 19 boards, 4 assists, and a steal and 5 blocks. I think these two were the biggest impact on teams, but they played different positions. Following Kenji, we had Cole Woolridge. Why can't I say his name? Cole Woolridge, who also did his thing, as I mentioned before, in that he was able to get a lot of his points from the paint and just was overall contributing in the way the team wasn't able to. J.R. Griffin, from my perspective, I thought he would have performed better than anybody else on the team, but he only had 14 points and 4 assists, and he shot 28% from the field. He did take a lot of horrible shots, which is part of the reason why the Warriors lost this game. And similarly, I would expect Max Henderson to be more impactful in the paint than he was, but he himself only had 12 points because I think Brandon's presence just simply overpowered him there, and he wasn't able to get as many looks as he normally would get. But then on the Celtics side, I do want to highlight a few points regarding Winston Newman. He surprised me in his scoring. As you know, he's a 60 8 overall. Austin Carney did his thing. He got me to stand up with his fadeaway jumper, so I was very surprised about that. I didn't even think he had that in his bag. But overall, he had 18 points like listed, but he shot way more efficiently, disregarding the shots beyond the arc. But overall, I'm surprised that Michael Terry scored as little as he did, considering that he's the best player on the team. But he did get 11 boards, 5 assists, and 3 steals, as well as 4 blocks. But going forward, I'd expect to see more from him in the future. But nonetheless, I was still pleased with the game. And like I said, I think this game could have gone either way. So now that this game is over, let's hop into our next game, which will be the Denver Nuggets versus the Grizzlies. Hope you enjoy it.
Here's prime time. The pass to Kent. Lets it go from deep. The three-pointer is right on target.
Not shot from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
It's stolen. A lot of talk about reseeding in the playoffs when you got down to the final 4 teams. If it ensures the 2 best teams make the finals, it would seem to me, Greg, to be worth it. What about you?
You know, it could be. I think about the worldwide attention on that championship round, but you got to get the Eastern Conference teams to sign off on that. And, you know, we've seen it happen in the past where the power shifts from one conference to the other, but ultimately nothing better than seeing the 2 best teams play for it all.
Cannon, the pass to Unseld. Back to Cannon. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Cannon's got 4 this quarter.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Here's Kent. And Denver again with the bucket.
And for the Nuggets.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And with this win now, we're all square, 1-1. 2 more games yet to come in what's proving to be a very competitive season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jay.
Just active on defense, little things like clawing and scrapping and tipping passes and contesting shots. Came up with a lot of steals.
And he recovers it. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Ooh-wee. There is no comparison between the 2 teams. The Nuggets left it all on the court, shooting 54% from the field. I mean, the team could definitely improve how they take their shots from beyond the arc. As you can see, they shot 39%, but they did have a high volume of 3-point shots taken. Now, with that being said, the hustle on the team is what I found the most impressive, especially when Juice dove for the steal. You guys didn't see that because I cut that out of the video just for the sake of time. But as you can see on the screen, there was a lot of steals on the Nuggets side of the house, 12 in total compared to the Grizzlies' 5. So when I look at this, I do think the Nuggets are going to be one of the powerhouses on the West. It'll be between the Nuggets as well as the Rockets. There's still some room for the Lakers, hopefully. I don't know where the Pelicans and the Mavs are going to end up. Well, we'll talk about it at a later time. But nonetheless, when coming back to this game, although the Grizzlies got blown out, they don't have the same stain that the Mavericks have on their records, which we'll talk about later. But offensively speaking, the Grizzlies do need a lot of work. For example, Freeman Black, in my opinion, he got outperformed by Sean Kalinich during the gameplay portion of the game. However, that changed once I simulated the game between the 3rd and the 4th quarters based on the box score that you'll see in a short moment. But outside of that, I want to highlight Juice again because I thought he did a phenomenal job. But I also want to highlight Stefano Kent, who we saw short glimpses of towards the end of the game. Previously, before Juice was added to the team, Stefano was the lead shooting guard, but now he's coming off the bench, which I do think is a good look for the Nuggets, mainly because Stefano does add some depth to the Nuggets. He is a shorter guard, but he's also a really good playmaker from what you could see in those last 2 minutes. And he could shoot compared to most shooting guards that I've seen thus far in the FBL. Not to say that there aren't really good shooting guards, but I would say that Stefano's top tier. If not S level, definitely A level when it comes to the shooting. But let's take a look at the box score. And if you look here, as you can see, Freeman Black had 21 points. He shot 6 for 19, which isn't that great in my opinion, considering he's supposed to be the best person on the Grizzlies. But then you see Sean Kalinich, who had 10 minutes less than him, was only off by 7 points compared to his 21 points. So that's why I say like his performance wasn't as great as I would expect it to. Terry Randall, he had a decent game, but he disappeared after the second quarter, so there's not much to talk about. But Juice, on the other hand, shout out to Juiceman. His link is also in the description below. He's the creator of Juice, but Juice, that man's a demigod. With the CPU playing as Juice, he was doing a really good job. Now, Juice did take a lot of wild shots, roughly shooting 20% from the field, but he started the game a lot of steam in the second quarter and continued his dominance through the remainder of the game, which is why he had such high points. And as you can see here, Stefano Cat had 13 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. I thought his impact on the bench probably wasn't as needed compared to Juice's impact, but I think it was impactful nonetheless, because when they go up against teams like the Spurs and the Rockets, Stefano Kent, Bo Yates, Nelson White, those players are going to have an impact when it comes to how this team plays against those high-powered teams. So now for the game at hand. Originally, I intended on showing the full game of the Dallas Mavericks for the Knicks, mainly because this is my very first time playing with the Mavericks. My very first time playing as Chase, which is the second of the 3 brothers, so he's the middle brother. And I had high hopes for this game, but unfortunately for me, things went south very quickly. So as you can see, well, you can't see, but this is actually the second game that the Mavericks went up against the Knicks. But being that this was my first time, I thought it would make sense for me to go about the same approach that I did last week with the Houston Rockets. So I did some scouting. And so when we look at the scouting, you can see that the team is very even, to say the least. Now, granted, when it comes to our perimeter defense and 3-point scoring compared to the Knicks, the Mavs are definitely poorer in that sense. But when it comes to passing and stealing, we are way better than them. But then when it comes to rebounding, agility, low post, and things like that, we're fairly even. And even looking at the scores compared to the points made, the Mavs are a bit higher. But on the other hand, points allowed, the Knicks are better defensively. Our efficiencies are pretty much the same. 3-point shots are way different. The Knicks are definitely way more efficient than us, as well as their free throw efficiency. When it comes to the other stats, things are fairly in line. One would argue with the defensive rebounds, we're actually way worse. Not even one would argue, we are way worse. They're number 1 in the entire league when it comes to rebounding. But despite that, I thought we had a fighting chance. And the reason I say thought is mainly because of the following. So if you look at the head-to-head, with the exception of Rob McGee, who is a 68, right? Theo Payne, matchbox. Rob McGee can't hold him. Shea Honeycutt would probably defeat Duncan with ease. I wouldn't say with ease, but definitely would give Duncan a run for the money. But I think Shea should be able to hold his own up against Xavier Pack. Reverend Ivy, it could be hit or miss depending on Quinn live. From what I've seen from Quinn in other games, he could be a threat, but then sometimes he could be off. And then with George Copeland versus Neil Upshar, that's a big gap. So despite the fact that Eddie Yao is out with an injury and Brevitt's now taking the lead spot at the 2, I thought things should be fairly close. Even if we lost, it should be close. But I was sadly mistaken, and here's why. We got smoked. You hear me? We got smoked. We lost by 58 points. So when I said earlier that the Grizzlies got smacked by the Nuggets, but they don't have the same stain that the Mavericks have, this is exactly what I mean. When I got into this game, the way the team played when I got on the court surprised me, and I understand that I didn't know how to shoot with Chase, and I was still learning how to play at the 3 position, but man, For you to truly understand what it is that I'm talking about, let's take a trip down memory lane real quick.
And so off the tip, it's New York. Out left to the wing. Here's Little General. Here's Honeycutt. 4 on the clock. The baseline J. Webb pulls it in.
So he caught me slipping. That's cool. We on the
Pass to
break.
McGee.
Rob McGee takes a wild shot, bricks it.
Of their problems stem from turnovers. They simply could not take
Trying to get around the screen so I can take a shot. Shoot
It's
it.
the Knicks getting on the board first. Here's Money.
Brick.
Payne grabs the. Here's Upshaw.
Same play again.
Coming off a 10-point game against Boston.
Shoot it.
And don't forget
Brick.
about the work he did.
In Chicago.
Wide
Here's
open.
Ivey.
Brick.
And there's the feed to Payne.
Now, why was Brevin on Theo Payne? No idea. The easy pay for the Knicks. We're now down 7-0 within less than 3 minutes. And now Rod McGee is bringing up the ball.
Aggressive move to the rack, and where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Why is he taking that shot? No clue.
Best in Boston. Here's Ivey. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Celtics in Boston.
You know what else impressed me? How infectious his tenacity was. Simply a wrecking ball on the boards, collected huge amounts of rebounds.
Terrible shot.
That one off the back eye. Time either. Mavericks trail by 9. Now the Mavericks moving it up. Here's Webb. Dallas moving the ball around. It's good.
That was our first shot in 4 minutes.
Here's Upshaw. He's been patient so far. Nothing
Yet
on the
brick
scoreboard
again.
Yet. By 9.
Wide open.
3. Payne grabs the board.
Couldn't buy a bucket if I wanted to.
He saw the court so well, firing perfect passes to teammates for wide open shots.
Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock.
Not adjust. This could be a blowout.
Here's Upshaw. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
Why is he pulling that? Have no idea.
The miss by defensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
Wide open again.
Again, the miss by the Mavericks.
Can't make
This
it.
has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not.
At this point, I was 1 for 5.
Ulis pulls it.
Field goal percentage.
We're now down 2-22.
Knicks with the
Cannot
rebound.
buy a bucket. 2% covered, mind you.
And so here is Dallas. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
And missing your free throw.
The score by New York. There's the pass to McGee from deep.
I don't know why he keeps pulling it from 3. And Duncan can't even hit his free throws.
He's checked in for the Knicks.
So they take me out, and now that's when the team finally scores, but we're still down 15-39.
Here's Copeland. He has 7. Webb pulls
Finally
it in.
got to stop.
Rosen out there with Payne.
Wide open, right?
And there's Flash. And it's Pack.
But yet it's 31% covered.
That's the 5 for New York right now.
Recognizes it and quickly takes advantage.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and
But here, I'm shooting very early,
capitalizing.
as you can see here. And yet,
Buries the long-range jumper.
I make the shot? That's what I knew 2K was up to no good.
For him last game against the Celtics in Boston.
And yet, here we go.
Get that one
Back to
fall.
missing shots.
Here's Ivey. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Pat
At this
grabs the ball.
point, it was getting out of hand.
Webb's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Down by 25. Now I'm wide open, and I still can't hit
Now
the
here's
shot.
McGee. Tight defense on him. Missed inside.
Looking at the score, you see that I missed 8 shots, shot 2 for 10. Duncan didn't shoot that well. Hayden Keefe had 2 for 2, and then everybody else only shot 1 shot and made 1 shot. Brevin Ivey shot 0 for 5. Steve shot 0 for 3. Neil Upshaw 0 for 2. So I got frustrated and I simulated to the end of the game. And as you can see, we got smoked. So looking at the box score, We shot 38% from the field compared to the Knicks 53. We hit 11 3-pointers out of nowhere because, as you saw from what I saw, we were breaking the hell out of everything. And we couldn't hit a free throw if our life depended on it, which I thought was absolutely absurd and didn't make sense considering that we beat this team just the week prior by 20 plus points. So that's when I realized that the way I've been playing this game, you can't just hop in. If this were today's players, right? So if we're talking like LeBron, Caruso, we're talking Zach LaVine, we're talking all these great players that are in the league today. If we wanted to just hop in and play the game, you could do so. But considering that I created this league, this made me want to take things into a deeper dive. So here's the box score for the game that was previously played. And as you can see, the scoring is a lot different. Chase roughly shot the same, 11 for 19, but Neil Opshaw definitely had more points. And compared to what we had before, there's a big difference. 4 shots out of 9, 4 shots out of 10 for Duncan, compared to Shea Cunningham, who had 33 points, 18 rebounds. He killed it. Same with Theo Payne, same with Quinn Lai. I would expect it from Shea Cunningham and Theo Payne, but I wouldn't expect the Mavericks to play as poorly as we did. So I got very, very frustrated, and I realized that not only do I have to learn more about 2K, but I also need to learn more about basketball in general. There are some things that I probably wasn't realizing that our team was doing, and the way I was playing with Chase probably wasn't as good. But Rod McGee shooting 4 for 18 is unacceptable. I know I was giving him praises during the Mavericks team spotlight, but that is simply unacceptable to me, and I have to go back to the drawing board and figure out what's going wrong with this team, because from a sim perspective, as you can see here on the screen versus the Spurs, and mind you, the Spurs have been at the top of the league for the past 2 weeks, and yet, all of a sudden, the Mavericks have no issues, which leads me to believe that there's something off when it comes to actually diving into the game. So from a sim perspective, it's probably based on overalls, I'm assuming. But when we're talking about actual gameplay, there's more things that I need to consider, whether it's the playbook, whether it's what the top priorities from scorings are, or what the profiles are for each player. But as you can see here, Rod McGee, he still took a lot of shots, but the rest of the team were able to supplement what he missed. Hayden Keefe still missed his shots, but overall the team performed fairly well. I was very disturbed, perturbed, and very disappointed with how the team played. But I do love the challenge, and I do love learning and getting better. So I'll take this L in blood, despite how hard it will be, and we'll move forward. But when it comes to the overall week, you can see that the Lakers won 2 games out of the 3. They got smoked by the Atlanta Hawks. Unfortunately, I didn't even bother jumping in because it was well gone before the 4th quarter. But they won against the Thunder, also won against the Kings, which is a good look for the Lakers. And right now, currently 10-5 on the season. Chemistry still needs a little bit of work, but overall the team is performing very well. Now, if we take a look at the Mavericks, we lost 2 and we won 2. So surprisingly enough, as you can see, we beat the Spurs 115-105. Also beat the Warriors 109-90. I thought that was going to be a tougher game considering how the Warriors have been playing. But I guess there's something going on in the background, probably some injuries that I wasn't aware of. But we lost to the Knicks and we also lost to the Raptors, which is unfortunate. But the Pelicans had a good week. We beat the Clippers, thank goodness, because right now the Clippers are the worst team in the league. So if we would have lost, I'd have been very salty. The Heat, we lost to a very good squad, so that's to be expected. But we fortunately won against the Golden State Warriors, which I believe is a tougher team than the Trailblazers. So I need to look into why we actually lost against the Trailblazers to see what adjustments need to be made. Now, when it comes to the league standings, you can see that the Spurs are still on top. Granted, last week they were 11-1, but they got 3 L's this week, one of them being from the Mavericks, which is rather surprising. But the Rockets, they were able to move up by 3 seeds, going up to the 2nd seed. The Lakers moved up 1 spot to the 3rd, and then the Timberwolves jumped up 5 spots from the 9th seed to the 4th seed. We'll see how that pans out during the rest of the season. The Warriors seem to have a rough week this week. Last week they were 8-4, and now they're at 9-7, so they dropped down to the 5th seed. And then the Suns are still at the 6th. Last week they were 7-4, but they lost 2 and won a game to be 8-6. The Mavs are still at the 7th seed. Hopefully we can improve that with the work that I plan to do as far as looking at the team breakdown and all the plays that we have, look at the playbook, etc. But they're still in the 7th seed, so there's still a chance to get into the playoffs. The Jazz actually fell down 5 slots. They're now at the 8th seed, and the Kings fell down 1 slot to the 9th. The Pelicans are hovering around 10. They've been hovering around 10 for the past 2 weeks now. Hopefully they get their act together to get into playoff contentions. So between the Pelicans, Nuggets, I would expect there to be some shifting over the next couple of weeks with them. But then the Thunder, Trailblazers, Grizzlies, and Clippers are at the bottom of the league. And with the Clippers, they actually are 0-16. I repeat, 0-16. So they lost 16 games straight since the beginning of the season, which is beyond me. So I'm going to be on the lookout to see what's going on with that team as well. But with that being said, let us take a look at the Eastern Conference to see what's going on over there. Now, there's way more drama on the Eastern side of things compared to the West, where we have a new number 1 seed on the Eastern side. Last week, it was the Orlando Magic. This week, it's the New York Knicks, who jumped up 2 slots to take the 1 seed. The Hornets as well jumped up 4 slots to take the 2 seed, and the Magic fell down 2 slots down to the 3 seed. Other big moves were the Celtics, who jumped up 6. The Bulls also jumped up 6, going from 13 to the 7th seed. So the Celtics, just to go back to that, they're now the 4th seed. Hawks fell down 3, down to the 5th seed. Raptors fell down 1. Like I said, the Bulls jumped from 13 to 7. The Heat actually fell down 1. And the Bucks jumped up 3 slots to 9. Now, towards the bottom of the league standings, it's the same bunch with the exception of the Bucks and the Bulls, who had a big jump. The Pistons dropped down by 2, so they're now the 13th seed. And so, as I mentioned before, a few games ago, or a few videos ago, that I would expect the Pistons to be down there. But I'm actually surprised about the 76ers that they're now the 11th seed. They fell down three slots compared to the last video, and I don't know what's going on with them considering the powerhouse team that they are. I would expect them to be top 5 at a minimum, but nonetheless, outside of them, the other groups that are looking weird to this date are the Cavs and the Nets. So last week the Cavs were at the bottom, and now this week the Nets are at the bottom, but the record is the same, 4-11 compared to being 2-9 last week. So I need to look at what's going on with the Cavs as well as the Brooklyn Nets, because I would expect them to be higher than the Pistons at the very least, and potentially the Wizards. But if you made it this far, I appreciate you watching this vid. I know this one wasn't as jam-packed with action as I would like, mainly because of what happened with the Mavs game. But next week, I do expect to have better games to show you all. So I appreciate you making it through this vid, and I'll see you next week. Hope you have a good one.